Hello everyone, and welcome back here to Coastal Trails Media. And today on this episode of Maximize Minimal Living, we're diving into something that I don't think gets enough credit, but it's a great way to spend your time with people who are close to you that costs very little to nothing at all. So let's jump into how to turn creative ideas into fun activities. So my goal this week is to inspire people to take a creative idea and turn it into an experience with friends rather than going out and doing some sort of costly hangout session. And so what I mean by this is turn in those fancy dinner dates, those lunches out for coffee, or just a beer at the bar for a book club or a storyboarding session or even a backyard comedy show. So I think this is fairly common advice for a lot of people to say, well, why don't you swap out your expensive habits with at-home activities that fill the same need. So instead of going to a fancy restaurant, you can have a dinner party or have a barbecue or whatever. And while those are great examples, they can get kind of mundane and boring and stale. And I mean, there's only so many dinner parties you can have or barbecues you can throw. And especially now where people are limited in the number of people they should be seeing and hanging around with, this doesn't necessarily work as a great alternative. Not to mention that even though they may not be as expensive, buying food for 6 people or 8 people can be quite a bit, not to mention it's time consuming and stressful, and so most of the time is actually spent individually, and then you're only spending a few hours to actually reap the rewards of all that work. And so when I combine that fact with the idea that so many people have creative passions that are often not fulfilled or not accomplished just because of the lack of kind of structure or an environment in which they can really excel. Sometimes all you need is a handful of people to care to make you feel like your passion is a little bit more professional, if you will, or a little bit more intriguing or exciting, and it may reinvigorate you to have some people along for your journey. And so the example that I'm going to give in this video for kind of my creative process where I brought some people on and we had a great time is a short film based around parkour. It's, I mean, nothing super crazy. Again, I've never been excellent at it. And it's mixed with a little bit of pickpocketing and distraction techniques and an overall just fun little story. You don't have to strive for perfection. It's rather just to go out and have some fun and do something creative and do something different that you wouldn't do necessarily every single day. Creating a short film, if that's not your thing, that shouldn't really be a limiting factor. There are a lot of other options, as I mentioned, whether that's a competitive painting night where everyone has to paint the same thing and there are some sort of stakes where the winner gets something, or even something that we did this summer because of social distancing and all the rules and regulations put into place. I have a good friend who participates a lot in open mic comedy, and so a group of them actually put on a backyard comedy show that people could go to with the proper distancing and not being necessarily close to anyone else, and still really enjoy that creative process in a little bit of a different environment that actually made it more exciting. So all of this to say that nights in don't have to be boring and they don't have to be repetitive, and you don't have to always go out and do something kind of crazy and expensive to get that excitement that comes from doing something new. You can put together a small group of people that you like hanging out with and that you're really close with and just go on some sort of creative journey that is cost effective, that is potentially quick and easy, and that just really kind of invigorates you, makes you feel comfortable and good, and at the end of the day you're having fun, and that's what it's all about. And so with that, let's just jump in and watch this parkour short film. I hope you enjoy it. Sorry about that.
your bike? Yeah, man. I bought it last year. It's a sweet bike, man. I want the same. Enjoy the ride, okay? Thanks.
All right, so that was it. That was the clip. And I mean, it was a great time for us to film. Like I said, it took us about a day. We went to the old CJEP we all used to go to, so it was very much a nostalgic activity where we would reminisce about a whole bunch of different things that we used to do, and we got to put together a cool little clip from it. And so with that, I want to thank you very much for watching. Definitely, if you're interested in more of these kind of creative, fun ways of spending your times that don't cost you money, but that get you out experiencing life, check out more episodes on the Maximized Minimal Living series. And if you just want to learn some tips and tricks about how to build the life that makes you happy, that makes you feel fulfilled, check out the Building a Holistic Life series, because I think there's a lot of valuable information there that you will gain from it. So thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned for next week when I publish a new video on Thursday. Hit like and subscribe, follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you guys next week.